What's going on, my friends? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin. Right now we're sitting at $20,390, down about 0.5%. And what I want to do is take a look at Bitcoin here on the 1 week time frame, and then we're also going to go to blockchaincenter.net and we're going to take a look at the rainbow chart for Bitcoin as well. So I hope you get some value from this. I want to make these videos as quick as I can for you and get to the point. So if you value that, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's dig into this. So guys, when we're looking at Bitcoin here on the weekly time frame, my main plan that I'm looking for right now, it does not have to happen. I'm looking for one more capitulation flush down for Bitcoin. We're already at very low levels like we'll get into on the Bitcoin rainbow chart, but still at these levels here, guys, you can see this big gap that we have right here. So if this area does not hold at 20,000, right in here, we'll call it even down to about 17,700. If that area breaks, I would look for a capitulation flush similar to what we had here to the downside. And what you can also do, guys, what I like to do is kind of measure this, and this is not for sure going to happen. Okay, so it's something that you have to pay attention to and just keep an eye on. But if we do get a move like this similar to the downside right here, this could take you down into the level of, $6,000 even. Not saying that we have to go to that level, but I think it's a good idea to have some limit orders layered in from around roughly $13,000 all the way down to around that $7,000. And the way that I would look to do it, I would go a little bit lighter on the limit orders, around $13,000, and then you would get heavier as you work your way down. And if you do get one of these big flushes down with these long wicks, many times you can pick them up and get a nice reaction bounce out of there. Our last reaction bounce that we had after our flush was 40%. So just something you want to keep an eye on here, guys. I wouldn't really be buying in this level of, 17,000, 15,000, because you can see this big void here. And many times you can just get flushed through that. So really keep an eye on that. Not saying that we have to go to the downside there, but that's my downside plan, and I'm going to be prepared. Now to the upside, we need to get over top of this 200-week moving average. And for me, guys, trading below the 200-week moving average on the weekly time frame and below the 200 moving average on the daily time frame, I would want to see us trading at least up above that weekly and trying to get up above that daily 200 moving average before I would feel comfortable taking out longs in this position, because I still want to be cautious. Like we've pointed out before, if you're dollar cost averaging, I do think this is a great place to start if you're holding for the longer term. But in terms of a position trade or a swing trade, I'm just not there yet. Okay, but in terms of overall long-term investing, I think this is a good area to start picking some Bitcoin up. And if it does fall, just work your way down. Dollar cost averaging could be really good for you. Now, on the weekly time frame, our relative strength is going to be at 38.52 right now. So we need to get over top of that 50 line. It's a really big deal for us. And then also on our cipher, VWAP is going to be at positive 8.54. So that's really good to see our VWAP on the weekly time frame in the positive. The only problem we're having right here is the money flow. The money flow is still negative 10.86, and that's going to be to the negative there. Then if we get into the 1 day time frame quick, before we go into blockchaincenter.net, check that out. We're trading up above our 50 moving average, but we're trading below this 200, guys. And like we've talked about before, this fall from the 200 down, this was almost 60%. So just really watching this, when we have a strong break up above it on heavy volume, many times that's the key signal to go long in this market. And when you fall below it on heavy volume, that can be the key to get out. So really watching that 200 moving average on the 4 hour and the 1 day time frame can be important. Now VWAP on the 1 day is going to be at negative 5.15, and money flow is going to be at negative 4.05. Relative strength is going to be at 56.55 right now. So just really watching this area, guys. Been moving sideways for about 150 days. So when this does break, whether it be to the upside or the downside, you need to have a plan ready, and it's most likely going to be explosive. So just be prepared. So now if we get into blockchaincenter.net here, this is the Bitcoin rainbow chart. We're going to go into a full screen for you. And on the full screen, it may be hard to see, but I'm going to kind of map this out for you. So starting in blue down here, we have basically a fire sale. The next color is buy. The next color there is going to be green, and that's going to be accumulate. So up in that area. Next one's going to be a lighter green, and that's still cheap. In yellow, you're going to have hodl. Up above that is this a bubble? Right up above that in orange, it's going to be FOMO intensifies. And then in the darker color orange, it's going to be sell, seriously sell. And then red is going to be that maximum bubble territory. So in 2013, we got up above the maximum bubble territory. In 2017, we got right into it. And then these last two that we had, we made it up roughly to about FOMO intensifies for the first peak. And then the second one we got to, is this a bubble? So we did not make it up into some of those higher levels, getting that blow off top that many of us anticipated. So when we're looking at this here, guys, what I do find interesting for dollar cost averaging, or if you're holding for a longer time and you're really trying to accumulate for the next major bull run, we are at that level now in blue here of basically a fire sale. So that's interesting, and that's a really good thing that we've, went all the way through all these colors, for the bear market. So that is interesting that we finally have hit these levels. Now, what I want you to realize is that we can hang out in these levels for quite a while. Look back here in 2013. We had a heck of a stretch of time where we were going from basically a fire sale up to about that buy level, and we were just chopping back and forth for a long time. So we can spend a lot of time at this level here. And if we continue to creep our way up, we can go anywhere from around this 20,000 that we have all the way up before the halving there. Even if we just stayed at basically a fire sale, that would be at about $41,700. Now, if things got crazy for the next bull market cycle, because people really like to look at that type of stuff, if we just kind of measured out here, guys, and said, maybe we're going to overdo it. We're going to go a little bit higher this time, right to around that FOMO intensifies, or even sell, seriously sell. And in my opinion, I don't think we're going to get to that point, because it looks like diminishing market cycles just due to the market cap getting bigger. So say we do have diminishing market cycles, guys, maybe we could get up into the range of 80 to about that 113, 115,000. If we went higher than that, is this a bubble? It could be up to around that 171. Then if we've really got crazy there into the FOMO intensifies again, out in that range, guys, you could be anywhere from 200 to about, $300,000. So not getting crazy and saying that's going to happen this next time. We have to take this day by day, like we've talked about. But the fact we have entered into this basically a fire sale, that's a pretty interesting thing. And it just kind of perks my ears up a little bit, watching these levels and kind of looking for that next great position trade to try to ride it up in the next bull market cycle. So if you guys get something from this, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let me know what you think down low and what you're doing. Take care.